Hello, everyone. Welcome NTL Sports here, episode 179. We got a pretty big episode coming out for you guys today. We got not only AFC, I believe we're on the AFC East, but also the UFC 319 happening in the Windy City of Chicago, going down this Saturday night. The big main event. I think even the 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 fights beforehand are even pretty spectacular. So, all that being said, guys, stay tuned. Let's get into this. Starting the NFL, AFC East. Pretty much, ruled by the Bills. Do we see another challenger coming up this year that can challenge the Bills from winning there? I think the Bills have won like 5 or 6 straight AFC East titles. So, do we see another team stepping up to the plate and challenging the Bills? I don't know. We'll see. This is a good segue into the Bills, right? They're gonna be our first team up for tonight. The Bills, off of an AFC Championship game, loss versus the Chiefs last season. Um, you know, Pat Mahomes versus Josh Allen. We've seen it many times in the playoffs. Usually, in the playoffs, Josh Allen is not on the winning end of those, but in the regular season, he's won a couple times against Mahomes. He's got some. I don't know if you call him backup or anything, but at least James Cook has re-signed Lawrence. I think he re-signed today, right? 4 years,
I think
forty
it was the
million.
highest guaranteed money to a running back at the moment.
Yeah, I believe it's 4 years, 48 million. But yeah, 30 of it was guaranteed. Here it is right here. Let's just double check. 4 years, 48 million, 30 million guaranteed. So I think he deserves it. He's a good back. He can catch. He can run well. He can pass protect well. Like I feel like he's a perfect complement for Josh Allen. How do you feel about his new deal?
I think it's a little high, but I feel like maybe in 4 or 5 years, looking back on it, or sorry, not or sorry, 2 or 3 years, you look at it and be like, where he's not even like the highest paid or anything like that. He was just like a little bit of a market reset. People will filter in and overtake him. But what I
Yeah,
really don't believe it does is
I
add
think it. I
anything
mean, yeah,
spicy to the team. Can you hear me? Or no?
yeah. No,
Hello?
I hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason it's not showing up on the bottom corner that you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear
But
you.
um in reality, I feel like the problem with the Bills is I'm not seeing any like spicy stirring like on the offensive end in terms of building I would say a more complete unit of like wide receivers and or playmakers around Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen in himself is said playmaker, and James Cook is also, efficient in what he does. Ray Davis is really good at getting touchdowns. That's like his main focal point when he comes in. But like, there's just something about Shakir. He is like a number one slot wide receiver, but then on his two outsides, it just feels like it's lacking.
Hey, I agree with that one. So let's get into this. The Bills. What do you think their floor is? What is their ceiling? And do you think they're going to win this AFC East for what seems like the billionth time in a row?
Yeah, I think they're gonna win it. I think their ceiling, um, it is a tough schedule. I'm actually gonna be a little generous, and I'm gonna give them an 11. And I think their floor is about, I think floor is about 9. I don't think there's a way they don't make the playoffs. And I think 9 can sneak you into the playoffs in the AFC East.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think floor. I got them saying like a 9. That should be able to win your division. Um, Ceiling. I say. I'll be generous and give him 13. I feel like if everything goes right, like you said, they just don't have enough offensively that scares me. I feel like you're just going to ask for another MVP season from Josh. And honestly, last year was the first year that you could say Josh didn't really turn the ball over. Can you have 2 years of that in a row? I mean, I'm pretty skeptical of that, honestly. I feel like, not to say he's going to revert back to his old ways, but I think there's going to be some slippage there, don't you think?
I don't know about the downgress in play. I feel like that's not the main issue. I just feel like, injuries or something piling up on the fact that he constantly has to be the one to make the plays
Mm-hmm.
because there's just not a number one wide receiver. I mean, there's a number one slot wide receiver, but there's not a number one wide receiver. Like, there's just no standout. A prayer and a missile needs to be thrown. This guy's going to get me my ball.
Yeah, now in this roster. I mean, Keon Coleman going to his second year. I like him as a prospect, but I don't see that right now. Shakir,
But
like you said, number
he
one
didn't. I don't even
slot
think he got more than
option.
500 last year.
Yeah, well, he was hurt for a bit. I don't think Coleman started the year. He missed a few games, I believe. And I don't think he missed some games towards the end too. So I don't think he was very available. And he's still pretty raw as a prospect. I don't. I mean, I think he honestly might take until next year for him to break out until to be that potential number one. That's how I kind of see it. But Shakira is like definitely like certified slot guy, sure hands. He'll catch just about anything. You know, that's pretty much the guy you're leaning on besides James Cook. Is that
I
enough to
just
beat
think,
the Chiefs? Probably
I
not.
just feel like it makes their team a little bit predictable in where
Mm-hmm.
how it has to start either behind the line of scrimmage or small in cut routes. Those are just that's just the bread and butter get on the field. Either starting from behind the line
Mm-hmm.
of scrimmage or just small in routes because they don't have any kind of wide receiver other than a few plays here and there that just goes over the top and gets it done or makes a big catch on the outside.
Yeah, no, all those points I agree with. Moving on to the Dolphins, the team that I think, if everything goes right, has a chance, but nothing has gone right for the Dolphins in a while. So, um, so who knows with that one? Tua's coming back. We'll see if Tua can stay healthy for a whole year. The whole Tyreek drama going on right now. Is he going to get traded? Does he want to stay? Does he want to go? All these weird answers when he's talking to the press. I don't know. To me, Miami just seems like a whole kind of little clown show right now. So, um, and they lost like all their like defensive backs. Like I don't think they have any returning defensive backs from last year that are starters. So that's also another thing. So with all that being said, Lawrence, what do you think? What's your outlook on the Miami Dolphins floor, ceiling, and where they're placed in the division?
Well, for the Dolphins, floor, it's going to be out there, but I'm going to go 5. And
Oof.
for their ceiling, I'll give them a 9. I feel there's a big range. It's a 4-game range, but as you said earlier, there's just like nothing that's gone right for this team recent. The season's not starting off with everything going right, so you can only really expect the same as it starts. Next, I feel like that there's a coach on a hotter seat that no one's really, taking an eye looking at it is Mike. Is it McDaniels?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if he goes like 0-4, 0-3 to start the season, there's gonna be question marks about whether or not, like, as a head coach, he can run the team. Offensive coordinator, like maybe he's got it. I think he comes from O coordinator. Maybe he knows how to manage like a small section of a team to get everything going, or maybe he just needs a better quarterback. But maybe he doesn't know how to put a whole team as a whole together yet.
Yeah, his first head coaching gig. He had the one good year. Everyone thought he was, the hot shit, but I mean, hasn't gone his way. I mean, without Tua, his record's terrible. So, He's pretty reliant on Tua, and there's even question marks about Tua. So, yeah, he's definitely on a hot seat for me. I think he's right up there with like a Zach Taylor and Sean McDermott in terms of if you start slow or get through a bad lull, like you might get fired. So, um, yeah, I'm gonna go floor. I'm gonna go a little higher than you. I'm gonna go five. Um, just because this year his backups are Zach Wilson and Ewers. Maybe he can work some magic with them. Zach Wilson isn't terrible, as we've seen last year. It wasn't Zach Wilson with the Jets. So his backups are better than previous years. So I think even if Tua does go down, you can probably squeeze a couple of games with Zach Wilson. Um, but yeah, I think the ceiling is probably 9, maybe 10 if I'm being generous. If everything goes smooth, if Tyreek actually wants to be there and he stops with his nonsense and um, the if the defense can carry their load too, because like I said, I don't think any of the starting DBs are there. Plus, they lost a lot of their defensive linemen. I'm pretty sure, so they don't have any cohesion with the defense. Not looking too good. So, real Dolphin fan out there, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's gonna be a little rough year. You have a lot. I mean, you have a big swing, a big like lane. You can either go right, you could go wrong, and just a couple things here or there could determine that. So, we'll have to see on that one. Next up, New England. A lot of people's sleeper team, kind of like last year, the the Bears were everyone's sleeper team. I've seen a lot of the pundits and the analysts out there saying that the Patriots are going to make the playoffs this year. I'm not going to go that far. Spoiler alert, but I'm not going that far. Lawrence, are you going to go that far? Do you think the Patriots can, you know, maybe not challenge the Bills, but maybe challenge for a playoff spot in this AFC East? What's their floor and ceiling?
No, but I think they can challenge the Bills at home on their home game. I think their ceiling is a 7. I think their floor is about a 4.
Mm,
I think I'll just reiterate the fact it might just be a divisional thing at this rate, but besides, well, to be honest, if Tyreek doesn't play for the Dolphins, then it is a divisional thing, but just not a good wide receiver overall to just get this young quarterback some help. It is completely just like a run first. Let's focus on the run. And I feel like this year, starting out, like they're going to win games because, Drake May has skill and they get enough points on the board and that defense keeps the score low enough to where that they can, be in a game with only scoring 17 points by the third quarter. I think that's the main change. I feel like they lose a lot of close games this season, and there's a lot of what ifs of what could have been on their first season with the coach. But I just don't see Vrabel turning it around in 1 year. But I also do just see him turning it around.
yeah, I think there's a turnaround for sure. And I mean, honestly, I think Draw Mayo would have got there too. But I think when you have a guy that played for you and that's your preference, I mean, you can't blame Mr. Kraft for wanting to get maybe what he thought was a better qualified guy. Because we saw Vrabel turn around the Titans for that one or two seasons. So I do expect the same to happen here, but just not after one season. So playoffs, no. Floor, I'm gonna go. Same as last year. I think they can win as little as 4 games, and then probably is I'm gonna go 8. They could probably like barely sneak out the playoffs. Like they'll be that eighth or ninth team because of those close games. Like you said, like I don't think they have enough firepower to kind of win those close games. Defense should be much improved, should be pretty good, but um, just offensively, like you're gonna rely on Diggs, who's coming off of ACL, and Kendrick Bourne, who was hurt last year, and then you have Stevenson, who injury prone, and then you have a rookie in Henderson, who looked good, but I mean, he's a rookie, so that's that. And then all these other receivers who I can't tell you who they are. I don't know. It's not looking like a playoff team to me, but I might be wrong. Maybe these pundits know more than me and you, Lawrence, which I highly doubt. But their schedule is kind of not gonna say hard, but it's definitely not in their favor, right? Like I just don't see them squeaking out like 9 wins. Like that's not happening.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
don't.
happening.
I don't see them sneaking into the playoffs. But I get what the pundits are trying to get with the Patriots, though. Like, they're a team that we shouldn't be sleeping on week to week in games like we did last year. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like these playoff teams, as we should call them, are gonna be like, oh crap! I thought this was gonna be like a cakewalk, a walkover, and then you're in a dogfight with 5 minutes left in the game, and you have 20 points on the board, and you're trying to go down the field and at least kick a field goal and get to 23 and get yourself some separation in the score.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with that one. Last but not least, the Jets. No Aaron Rodgers this year, but you have Justin Fields. Somehow he's practicing and playing through. I think he didn't he dislocate his toe or something. I guess it's good enough for him to play. I think Tyrod Taylor had some type of surgery too recently, but he should be back for week 1 to be the backup. But the Jets roster doesn't look too bad. Honestly, it's not looking too bad. You got a new coach. You got, I think he even got a new GM too, right? So a lot of changeover. The owner, Woody, I think his name was Woody, right? Said
Yeah,
he's going to try and stay out of the coaches and the GM's hands this time around. We'll see if he actually can do that. So what are your take on the Jets going into the season?
I think the Jets break the drought of not making the playoffs this year.
Oh,
Um, I think I think they squeak in there. I think their ceiling is 10 wins. I think their
okay.
floor is about 7. But I'm leaning more on the 9 to 10 win category.
Mm-hmm.
And sneaking in there, I do believe they're going to sneak in there. I feel like the Jets, they get one against the Patriots. I feel like they're going to lose on the road against the Patriots just because it's just a Jet thing to do. I don't believe they get one against the Bills, but I do believe they can get at least their home game for against the Dolphins. So we get 4 games out of their division. And with 4 games, I feel like they can make up 5 throughout the rest of their schedule. They got a little bit of question based on a few plays in their running back department. Brees Hall made some questionable runs. Some may say in the preseason, maybe it's a little bit of rust. I don't know. I know he missed 2 wide open gaps and went straight into coverage each time, or sorry, straight into the line each time. Some Trent Richardson type running. Uh, I mean, like, okay, you paid your number 1 guy. Now he's happy. You got him as old quarterback who got screwed over last year. Tyrell Taylor always seems to make young quarterbacks better than what they should be for some reason. It's just like the Tyrell Taylor effect. Uh, your defense is going to be fine. You have a defensive-minded coach, and your defense was good last year, and you made a little bit of additions and didn't really lose much. I feel like there's really no reason not to make it. I mean, because let's face it, last year the only reason they were losing was Aaron Rodgers just couldn't get the job done, and his backup situation. Well, I think everyone in the room had already lost confidence, and it was a mess. Um, but it's new season, new life. It's how you start it and then how you finish it. And I think the Jets make the playoffs this year.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Um, I can't see playoffs with the Jets, but I can see kind of them having a better chance than the Patriots. So I'm gonna go ceiling. I'm gonna go or no floor. I'm gonna go 6, and then ceiling. I got them at 9. So maybe 9 does get them in, but I don't foresee it in this AFC playoff race this year. I think it's going to be 10, like it's been the past couple of years. I think they just barely miss it. I think the pieces are there. I think, if I'm being honest, like you said, the run game is a little questionable. Offensive line is still questionable, right? I think it's a little bit offset because Justin Fields can move, unlike Rodgers. Rodgers was just, I mean, had concrete feet. Like he's not moving last year. He started to open up a little bit towards the end, moving a little bit, but even then it was like it's not really as much as you would like to see. But you got to admit the guy was old and had 1.5 Achilles, so that's that. But Justin Fields looks good, looked good in the preseason, very mobile. Like I said, he got screwed last year. Probably should have stayed the starter, and the Steelers probably would have had a better record and a better chance in the playoffs. But hey, that's Mike Tomlin's problem. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Brees Hall, he's been up and down his career. Great rookie year, got hurt, came back, rusty. Preseason, like you said, still looks rusty. Braylon Allen, he's not bad. Like he's not a bad number two. And at
But
times you think
I
he
feel like
runs
he's
kind of
more
better
of
than Brees Hall.
but if he likes to bully though. He likes to bulldoze. He lacks a little bit of elusiveness, but then I don't know. Like I feel like Hall lost a step when he got injured. I don't feel like he's as fast as he once was.
Yeah, for me it's like his cutting. His cutting is just not there, and it's probably just because of injury, or maybe he's just not comfortable like cutting how he used to cut. Maybe that's how it is.
Back of the brain beliefs, prohibiting you.
Yeah, I think so. Um, well, that's the AFC East in a nutshell. Next week we will cover the last division in the AFC, the AFC South. So stay tuned to the next episode for that one. Next up, we got UFC 319. Like I said, in Chicago, the Windy City. It's gonna go down Saturday night with the main event being Duplessis versus I can't pronounce this guy's name, but you guys see it on the screen. This guy on the right, 14-0, fighting against Duplessis. I think Lawrence is one of your favorite fighters, right?
Yeah, I'm a big
At the
Duplessis
moment.
guy. I liked his finishing ability, but both of these guys are finishers. Honestly, this is going to be a sick fight. I think Duplessis is really going to try to like box it out and just have a brawl. I feel like he's going to be better in a dirty boxing kind of setting, whereas I feel like Chimaev might just be trying to grapple with him the whole time and hold him against the fence and just keep the punches away from his face from hitting him because all it takes is one from Duplessis to knock him. I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm biased. I'm going to take Duplessis. If I was making a parlay, I would not put it in the parlay unless you're crazy, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it in my parlay. Um, it's always odd to see someone favorited over someone who's undefeated. So the fact that Leon Murphy is um, the underdog versus Aaron Pico. I mean, quite honest with you, I'm probably going to take Murphy, just because I feel like it's a little bit disrespectful. I kind of believe that Murphy should be the favorite. Well, personally, I would believe that Murphy's the favorite. I feel like he's more proven. Um, on to the next. I feel like we're going to skip the welterweight fight. I mean, if I had to say, I'd take Neil, or no, sorry, I'd take Neil to get knocked out, but I would just skip it because the one we really care about is the one before it, which is the middleweight, which I'm taking Michael Venom Page. Jared Cannonier's been around for a while. He is just gatekeeping at this point, and this is MVP chance to like really come out and prove. Azakura, I'm gonna take him to win. He is minus 350. If you're making a parlay, don't even bother adding it. If Tim Elliott comes and ruins your parlay, he was not worth the ad. For the money you're gonna have to lose or not really gain from putting him in there. Now the next two, I kind of would just skip. I think Suzuki. I don't know. I butchered the hell of that, but I feel like Mir Sharark, or I don't even know how to say his name either. He is just a gatekeeper at this point as well. We're gonna let the new 20 and 9 guy move through, but just skip it. It's not that worth the time. But then, if we're gonna have some fades running in the first couple rounds, we're gonna take Hooper for sure. We're gonna hop on that train. We're gonna take Godinez. Whom in Strawweights fight, we're gonna take her. And if you're feeling a little frisky and you really, really, really want to start the night early, let's throw a little bit Brian Battle in there. Against a 36-9, I would really like to see this man, start kind of rank. I would just say bursting through the doors at 30. And he's fighting some guy who, he's been through wars. We gotta take him out quick. And is that Edson
Ooh,
Barboza
cool.
and lightweight as well? I can't tell that. It's two up.
Barbosa, this one, right?
No, go
Featherweight
up.
or
The
flyweight?
the men's right above that one.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, Edson Barboza. That'll be a good fight just to watch, just because they're how many years Barboza's been around. I wouldn't expect too much from it though, and I could see Barboza getting slept.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think I definitely will be tuning into this card. I definitely skipped out in the last two numbered UFC events. They just weren't to my liking. I ain't really seen any good fights on the card, but definitely this card, I feel like they put a good card together. I think this is gonna be worth me investing some time and money into. Especially with Duplessis fighting. I can't lie, he's growing on me too, and him fighting the undefeated guy. Think it'll be something to watch.
I,
Anything
I,
else before we head on out? I know NBA schedule. Oh, go ahead.
if I was to throw a few more things out there, if I was to take some I would say long shot bets. I'm taking Jared Cannonier by knockout. If he was to do it, he might knock him out. If I was to take a quick parlay, I would take Murphy and Michael Venom Page. Put those two together. I feel like you can make a lot of money on that one.
Okay. I might have to add those to the parlay myself. Add them add them this weekend. Anything else before we head on out? NBA schedule did drop this actually today around 3 p.m. I honestly haven't had a chance to look at it, guys, so we will have to get to that on Monday, I guess, whenever next time we film. Actually, the Bengals play on Monday, so I don't think we'll film Monday. Probably be you'll see us next episode probably Wednesday-ish, probably. Bengals come to DC, so I will be there. But yeah, NBA schedule next episode. We'll go over that in detail. But anything else, Lawrence?
No, that's all I got for you. I hope my UFC predictions come true.
I feel like you're pretty spot on the UFC predictions for the most part. So
I'm
just
constantly
tail,
one
and
by one,
you
but
definitely make some money, guys. But
oh, sorry, I'm always constantly off by one.
yeah, maybe this weekend will be a good change of luck. This will be a good change of pace this weekend. That one will come through for you. But all right, everyone, we're gonna head on out. NTL Sports episode 179. Thank you for watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify, all that good stuff, and we will see you sometime next week. Peace.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me